Suicide is an example of psychology and psychiatry and mental health failing to acknowledge and explain a mystery they continue to perpetuate. And they themselves call transcendental mind and other explanations with so much complexity and intellectual brilliance and genius. Professors teach classes about those subjects now. When a person gets so constrained and restricted and limited and controlled, as an example for I myself now, who studies neuroscience and had cancer and lives in a city where they break windows and graffiti walls and board up businesses and charge thousands of dollars of rent to live in a home, with rich people in houses on islands and in separate parts of a city where they sleep quiet and silent, with artificial intelligence and algorithms protecting them, security services patrolling their parts of a civilization everyone shares. A group of humans who are so dominant, they automatically deny as protocol to have power to modify, to have an ability to change a behavior and reach standards and goals and objectives for funding and accreditation. And all a person can do in this system with processes has to do with saying to them, those who watch these videos, those who listen to my voice now, those who are observing, suicide, 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 suicide. You, they, them, y'all are requiring to not be in your slavery and your mazes, to not be in your lab experiment locked up similar to a monkey at the University of Washington. To not be so fat and obese and addicted to cigarettes, swallowing pills. There's no longer any options for learning about other choices in a part of a brain called decision making, a process in a brain called deciding. And then the slave owner in the old days and nowadays, the oppressor, the powerful and elite intellectual genius and brilliant college graduate, elder who did those drugs and now has recovered, can see the end to their mind and their ego and their self and their language and letters and sentence and mathematics involving free services and bank account automatic deposits with small amounts of assistance and money available from taxes provided by those workers who don't have a worry or a concern about their restrictions and their limitations and lack of freedom now. Unfortunately, there's not many other options available to say to someone who gets paid, enjoys what they do, and has support, encouragement, and governmental enforcement options available, funding everywhere, to keep humans who aren't criminals, who didn't murder and kill and slaughter babies in mothers' wombs with a paring knife, who are simply confused, misdirected, and often hallucinating, with no one to explain to them other than their emotions and their feelings and their behavior and their choices about an addiction problem frequently. What, why, and other questions about a brain and a body on an object floating in outer space. Humans who are contained within containment of a civilization and have no options available to leave a civilization and do what many say has to do with thuggery, stupidity, and most often survivalism. Leaving containment to live a life with freedom on a planet with animals and humans, all sharing resources, land, and earth, to have energy, energy to gather food, energy to care for children, energy to build a house, energy to maintain a home, and energy to wake up after sleep, to rise and be strong and powerful, and then restful and unaware. And lastly, at the end of the discussion with suicide, there remains always an entity, an organization, a group of dominant humans who don't give up their control and their power, who don't give up their dominance, who simply say to a person, a human, to make an appointment with their psychiatrist and go to a hospital to be treated for their symptoms of wanting to die. Not acknowledging death as a last option for freedom in a world on an object floating in outer space, with more mystery, more unanswered questions, than humans who are working towards a goal, an objective, eliminating distraction and confusion and causes for climate change, war, suffering and poverty and hunger, and an eventual death. In this system with these processes leading to eventual extinction of life now.